How do psychologists and economists view money and how people make decisions about money? Now, an economist would view people as completely rational, whereas psychologists would view people as irrational, bound by emotion and contextual factors that drive their decisions about money. And economics traditionally has moved in the direction to understand that psychology matters. And in fact, there's an area of economics now called behavioral economics that really is looking into how these psychological factors impact people's decision making. So in Thaler and Sunstein's book, Nudge, they make the argument that economists view people as econs, people who have infinite computing power. They're very rational. But the reality is, when you look at research studies, you look at the data, human beings act like human beings. They have limited capacity to compute information. And so given that, they benefit from nudges in making good decisions about money or good decisions about all kinds of things. And so let's talk about an example of a research study. So one of the ones that is really used often in all areas of psychology is this idea that, you would think that when we eat food, when our stomach gets full, we would just stop eating. We're full, we're done. But what we have learned in research studies is that people don't do that. They're very much influenced by context cues. So if someone is in a research study and they are eating a bowl of soup, and the researcher is refilling the bowl so that the soup bowl continues to stay full, the research subject will continue to eat more and more of that soup, even though they really shouldn't be needing more food at a certain point. The context cues of the situation drive our decisions, even though you think something like feeling full would be something that an internal cue would tell you that you're done. So again, psychology tells us that there are internal things that help us make decisions, but we are also very much impacted by these external factors, external cues in the environment. And so the idea is in Thaler and Sunstein's book is that given that we know people act like humans, given that people, are really influenced by the environment that they find themselves in, then it makes sense for us to change the environment so that we nudge people in directions to make good choices. So if you, for example, are trying to encourage people to make healthy food choices, purchase healthy foods, then put healthy foods close to the cash register. That's called choice architecture. And so you want to encourage people to buy the fruit because when they're paying, they'll just see it and maybe they'll purchase it, as opposed to maybe a bunch of junk food items like donuts or candy or cookies or something like that. Don't put those close to the location. And then people are more likely to be nudged to make good choices and maybe avoid some poorer choices. Just like in the textbook, there were studies that looked at the organization of cafeterias. And if you put the salad bar at the location where the person enters the cafeteria, they're more likely to eat fruits and vegetables from the salad bar first because they see that first. Are you eliminating choice? No, not at all, right? The choice is still there. The individual can still choose to purchase unhealthy foods. We're just nudging them in the direction to making good choices. So I hope you enjoy the readings this week, and let me know if you have any questions.